Hi guys, so I start with my 4 eggs in a bowl. And then about 1.5 cups of sugar. And then I mix that until creamy. I usually use a mixer, but I use the spatula today. And then once it's nicely and thoroughly mixed, I throw in 1 cup of oil. Followed by about 2 tablespoons of vanilla essence. Mix that through. And then I'll be adding some salt. You will see I measure with my hand, about a teaspoon. And then 3 teaspoons of baking powder. And then a half a cup of milk. I mix that. And then I'm going to start with 1.5 cups of flour. I sift that through. And I mix until combined. And then I'm going to throw in my last cup of flour. And then the next half a cup of milk. And I mix that until it's thoroughly mixed through. I'm using the spatula for the lumps. And I'm going to prep it and spray my bowl. You can use oil or the spray cooking spray. And then as you can see, the consistency is perfect. Just use a big enough bowl to put it in the oven. And my oven temperature is 180. And you can bake it for 30 to 35 minutes. Now I'm making my sauce. That's 2 cups of milk and 250 grams of butter. So I'm choosing to make more sauce because I realize that I always need more sauce when I dip the cake in the sauce. So I just add some extra ingredients. I used the butter in the freezer because I freeze my butter. That's why I let it melt in the warm milk. So let this simmer, the milk and the butter, until melted. As you can see, my butter is taking a while to melt. Okay, once the milk is steamed up and everything's combined, I'm going to add 2 cups of icing sugar. And then about half a cup or a cup of cocoa powder. It depends how dark you want it to be. I used about a cup. I just measure by hand at times, it doesn't really matter. And then a teaspoon of vanilla essence again. So you mix that through until it comes into like a sauce, because that's where you're going to dip your cake into. So you mix it a while and let it cool down. After the cake is done, you test it to see if it's dry and let that cool down as well before we are going to do the final touch. So there's my cake done. I'm just gonna cut it into slices, any slice that you want, any size that you want. You can cut it as you wish. It's a very fragile cake because it's very soft, so just be careful how you work with the cake. Then I prep my 2 bowls where I'm going to put in my sauce and the coconut in the one bowl. Then I'm going to dip each piece in the sauce and the coconut. And there you go.